You're tuned into Capital Jazz TV. I'm your host, Jodine Dorsey, and we are on the 15th annual Capital Jazz Super Cruise. I'm sitting next to Johnny Britt.
Hey, Jodine.
How are you doing?
You know, I'm doing fantastic. This is
Good.
amazing. This is amazing to be
Good.
here on the cruise with you guys.
You're no stranger to Capital Jazz, but this is your first time on a Super Cruise.
It is.
And you opened up for Lettucey.
Yes.
You guys played together on the same stage.
Last
How
night.
is the feeling?
It was electric. It was electric. That's the only word I can say. It was overwhelming. A lot of people have come up to me to tell me that. And they've been asking me, when are you coming to Chicago? When are you coming to Seattle? When are you coming to Maryland? When are you coming to Virginia? It's been really everywhere I go on this ship.
Nice.
And I'm just filled the love for what I do as an artist, as
Yeah.
a singer, and as a vocalist, as
Yeah.
a trumpet player. Everyone is feeling it, and I'm so happy.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're happy. And it's been you also on the festival last year.
Yeah.
With the festival experience, how is it different with the Super Cruise? Like, how would you say it's different?
That's a good question. The festival last year, I was on the indie stage, and it was cool. I guess that was kind of like for new artists, I guess. And so, of course, you know, I'm not a new artist.
That's right. He
But-
is not a stranger to the game.
That's why I like part of my song. I say, right now, I want to make it clear Johnny B's not new. I've been around for years.
All right.
Highly respected amongst my peers for making good music people love to hear. Now,
All
some
right
of y'all
now.
may be confused because of the style I choose. I mix hip hop, jazz, and R&B. I don't categorize, and I say that's me, Johnny B. You know, that's my joint. It is what it is. I kind of like summarize. You know, I've been in the business. I've been on major hit records. I was
Right.
signed to Motown Records with the group that I founded,
Impromptu.
Impromptu, which so many people here know me from those days when I had the little curly cues right here on BET.
We got to find that picture.
Yeah. But you know, I was the youngest musical director of the Temptations, and I was really
Yes.
blessed to be the co-music producer of the Temptations miniseries. The Temptations. I was also the co-music producer for the Little Richard story that starred Leon, and just recently, I'm the solo trumpetist on the Hidden Figures soundtrack.
Wow.
I'm the solo trumpetist, and I was featured in La La Land. On
Booked
trumpet,
and
and
busy.
just recently, I was telling the people last night that I'm in the movie Babylon with Brad Pitt. Yeah. So I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
of course, as an artist, I live to be an artist. Before
Right.
Impromptu, I was a solo artist, and I did Impromptu, and now I'm a solo artist, and I'm just in my zone.
You're in your zone. I see it.
I do like exactly what I want to do, however I want to do it, when I want to do it.
I see it.
So, you know, I'm writing, producing, arranging all of my songs on my records. I have my own record label, and it has really been lights out. It's been lights out.
But what brings you the most joy, though? Because you sing, you songwrite, you produce, you're working in movies, you're doing all these things. What brings you the most joy?
You know, I will have to say, like last night, you know, because basically, you know, you know a true artist when you hear him live, right? The live performance, a true artist is better than the records,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, like the energy, you know, people were telling me they were crying last night. I mean, people have come up to me and tell me how much they were touched. So that's right here. It's not on vinyl.
It's
not-
in real life. It's not social media.
Yeah.
Like
So
you can
for
touch and
me,
feel.
I have to say, it's when I mentioned the word electric, that's exactly what I meant. So I would have to say all of them are my babies. Like every song that I write is like a child. Every production, all the movies and stuff. But the live thing is just.
And that, yeah. It feeds you.
Yeah, it feeds you. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
feeds
it's just so spontaneous and so raw and so powerful. And that's what I just love about the live performances.
I love that. So you're from Cleveland, Ohio, but you're now in LA.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get started in the music industry? Like, bring me
Sure.
back to Cleveland.
Absolutely. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
I started with Arsenio Hall. We were in a band together. I played
What?
trumpet. Yeah, Arsenio played drums. He actually just sent me a very nice sculpture. He called me, says his publicist brought it over to me, and it had on there a lifetime friendship between him and I, because we both had dreams of coming out of the inner city of Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
And I was blessed to have studied in Paris, France, where I spoke French last night at my show. It's kind of funny.
Oh.
And I studied in Paris, France. went to Chicago to continue my studies, and I got discovered by Otis Williams of the Temptations there. And when I got discovered by Otis Williams, we were touring the world, and I needed to be in L.A. They wanted me to be in L.A.
That's right.
And all of the agents, managers told me I needed to be in L.A. So that's why I came to L.A. And because I went to L.A., now I've toured with Maxwell, I've toured with Annie Lennox, I've worked with, you know my resume, Quincy Jones, everyone.
Right.
So it was a great move for me.
Oh my gosh. And now here you are, you're creating this music, and you have a special project when Marvin Meets Miles.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Thank you for asking about that. This is a project that I envisioned because I'm inspired by Marvin Gaye as a vocalist, and I'm inspired by Miles Davis as a trumpet player. And I imagined what it would sound like if I merged the two styles together, and I did that on my project, Marvin Meets Miles. It's here on the ship, of course, and I'll be performing that show in its entirety this Thursday night. I call it Marvin Meets Miles and more, because it's going to be a little bit more than Marvin Meets Miles. But it was crazy. My publicist, Danielle Holland, after we finished the record, she told me, Johnny, Jan Gaye, Marvin's wife, wrote a book. And on page like 277, she writes in the book that Marvin Gaye and Miles Davis were trying to record together. And Marvin wanted Miles to come to L.A., and Miles wanted Marvin to come to New York, but it never happened. And she was there in the conversation. And the fact that I was inspired to do this, and it's my concept, it's my arrangements, it's the whole thing of what it would sound like, I'm just really honored, and I just cannot wait for the world to really, really hear what this gem concept album is. And performance.
I've got to ask you for a sample. I see the horn here. I've got to ask. I'll hold the mic if you need me to.
Well,
but
this is okay. I'll be really honest. I am promoting my new album.
Okay.
My brand new album I just finished, and it's actually a Capital Jazz SuperCruise release because the album is available right now on the ship. The rest of the world cannot get this album until March 17th, but we did a rush order on CDs so you can have it here. And of course, I'll sign it for you. And I'm really, really happy because on this album, of course, I mentioned we have Will Downing.
That's right.
We have Will Downing on the album, which my Valentine's Day single is called Butterflies that I wrote, that Will and I are singing to all the lovely ladies in the world, Butterflies. And that single is dropping. Will and I, he's just an amazing talent.
And a friend of Capital Jazz as well.
Absolutely. So we have Will on the album. We have George Benson is on this new album. And we have Little Anthony from Little Anthony and the Imperials on the album. I kind of did a sample of telling the folks last night, well, I sang a duet with Little Anthony. I said, yes, I think I'm going out of my head.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'm going out of my head. And everybody's like, over you. So I said, yes, Little Anthony and the Imperials are on this new album. Nice. We have Gerald Albright on the album. We have Funkin' for Jamaica, Tom Brown is on the album. We're going to be doing my new joint called Ain't Nothing But the Funk. We're going to be doing that for the very first time right here on the Capital Jazz this Thursday night. I kind of gave that away. But the reason I have this horn out is because I have a hit single right now that features Peter White. And it's the title track of the album, After We Play. And that's what this is. And it goes a little something like this.
Johnny, thank you. Where's the round? We're going to have to insert some round of applauses here. That was fantastic. Johnny, thank you so much for being on the SuperCruise.
Before I leave, I want to thank all the fans, first of all, for coming to say hello to me. And telling me, just giving me so much love. I do appreciate that so much. And the staff, you guys have been fantastic. And of course, last but not least, Cliff Hunt, thank you so much for having me, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, that is fantastic. Johnny, how do people keep in contact with you?
JohnnyBritt.com. It's really easy.
That's it.
JohnnyBritt.com. And can I mention that I do have a
Yes.
radio show? I have my own radio show. It's called The Turntable with Johnny Britt on Solar Radio. You may not remember this. You can go to JohnnyBritt.com and the information is there. But I am I have a 2-hour show. The first part of the show, I'm like a DJ. But the second half of the show, I interview people like Peebo Bryson. I've interviewed George Benson, Otis Williams from the Temptations, and everybody, Gerald Albright, Najee, Will
The
Downing.
legends.
So if you guys can check me out on that as well, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
You're
Johnny.
welcome.
Thank you for being on the Super
You're
Cruise. Please make sure you check out JohnnyBritt.com. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Just go there and you're gonna get all the information that you need. I'm your host, Jodine Dorsey, and you are tuned in to Capital Jazz TV.